In an unsurprising announcement, Busch Gardens Tampa Bay has let the information out about their 2019 roller coaster, Tigress. But what really took the star of the show was the end of the announcement. The announcer decided to make a quote-unquote hybrid announcement for something happening to Gwazi, which has had a quote-unquote rocky ride in 2020. In case you don't know, Gwazi was a GCI dueling coaster which closed on February 1st of 2015. It closed just because it was super rough. Only one side was running for multiple years, and as someone who actually rode Gwazi, it was just a really terrible experience. However, what was interesting about it was that it just stayed there. They didn't tear it down. They didn't really do anything to the structure, which led a lot of people thinking that it will either be RMC'd or demolished eventually. But right off the bat, it seems like it's going to be RMC'd now. A lot of people are surprised at this announcement because they thought that the wood wasn't stable or that the Florida heat was just too much for the structure, but it seems that that's not the case. Similar to Twisted Colossus, I do think that there's a possibility of this being a Mobius loop coaster, essentially where the coaster duels, but it's one long circuit. Even though nothing is confirmed, I'm personally hoping for a normal dueling coaster, just because it would be a first for RMC, and I think it would be a really cool experience. Looking at what this ride might actually visually look like, the wood currently just looks really awful, so I think that we'll be seeing some added wood to the structure and some replacements to the foundations. I do think that the track will be yellow for the lion side and blue for the tiger side. That's just basing it off of how the trains looked from the original Gwazi. If that doesn't look too great, then maybe they would go with a normal RMC color like red or orange. Now, 2020 just seems to be a really great year for SeaWorld, with the possible Giga Coaster coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Of course, you have Tigress in 2019. Of course, it's not 2020. And then you have this possible RMC coming to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. So it really seems like SeaWorld is really trying to dump a lot of investment into these parks. The park has said more information about this edition is to come in the future. When they do, you can find more about it on Thrill Source. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. This is Thrill Source, and we'll see you all next time.